Siege X was a complete failure, and here's why. The average viewers on Twitch have dropped from 25,000 in June 2025 to 8,000 in September 2025, only 3 months later. And it hasn't been that low since June 2023. Every month the player count is falling on Steam, and that is despite the game literally being free to play. I mean, Siege's most popular creator, Jinxie, doesn't even play the game anymore. So what happened to Rainbow Six Siege? On March the 13th, 2025, Siege X was revealed, and with its release came a lot of new features. One of those being a new game mode called Dual Front, a 6v6 game mode where teams have to both simultaneously attack and defend. The game was also becoming free to play, with free access to Quick Play, Unranked and Dual Front, with Ranked only being available to premium players. The game's anti-cheat had been updated, supposedly making it harder to now cheat, and also making it harder to play mouse and keyboard on console, which was an issue that was causing a lot of unfair play on both Xbox and PlayStation. Many of the maps in the game are going to be modernized, meaning things like gas pipes now release a flame, fire extinguishers can now release smoke, and metal detectors on maps now play a beeping sound when a player passes through it, similar to how it is in real life, effectively making the game more realistic. The lighting and textures on the game had also been enhanced, which are also meant to make the game feel more realistic. The game's audio had been improved, making it more clear and precise, and the game developers also made many movement changes, such as being able to run while on rappel, and they also reworked the operator clash, which definitely wasn't the most popular feature.
Dashes through barricades. It will remain.
Oh no! Oh my god, no! No! No, not again!
But here's the very important thing to remember. Siege X is not a new game, simply a major update meant to improve player experience. And so, awaiting the release of the game, which had been confirmed to be June the 10th, there was a lot of hype. People were very excited, and the overall community could not wait. And the same day that the game was released, it had 140,000 concurrent players, its highest peak since the year prior. But despite all the hype, and despite all the cool features they added, the update was actually quite disappointing and definitely did not live up to the hype. Every month since, the game has lost players, and right now Siege X has the same amount of players as what it did before the update, even though the game is literally now free to play, so it literally should have more players. What this means is the players that were playing before Siege X, a lot of them have quit the game. Many of Siege's biggest creators have been calling out the game, and many of its most popular creators are literally leaving the game.
24-hour Siege stream, the most likely probably gonna be on the first day of the Siege, and it might be my last Siege stream, bro. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna see how the game is, bro.
So why is it in this state only 3 months after the release of Siege X, an event that was meant to revitalize the game and make it more popular than ever? So the reason why Siege X completely failed is because nothing happened. No new operator, no new map. Yes, there were quite a few things added, and they're cool, but none of these additions are big things. They don't change the fact that the game still feels the exact same. You see, when people play the same game for a long time, every day, eventually they're gonna get bored and they're gonna move on. They're gonna play different games. It's like, imagine eating the same food every day for an entire year. That's not all. The new game mode, Dual Front. Now look, Dual Front in of itself is not a bad game mode. I'm sure there's many players that enjoy playing it, but it simply just does not make sense. Like, the game mode is very similar to Call of Duty in that it's fast paced, you respawn, and therefore the game mode promotes a more aggressive style of play. But that's not what Siege is. Siege is a slow paced tactical game, and Dual Front just feels like a completely different game to Siege. And so what that does is the people who like Siege for what it is don't like Dual Front.
Like when that whole Dual Front mode came out, which is like
Trash.
ODM mode. It's
Trash.
Like why are we trying to be like Call of Duty if like the reason why people play Siege is because it's nothing like COD.
And The release of Siege X did not fix a lot of core issues that there were with the game. One of those being the Rank 2.0 system that was released 2 years ago. One of the biggest issues with this rank system is players getting put in higher elo lobbies than what their rank is. I'm talking about bronze and silvers playing against literal emeralds and champions, and what that does is it makes it impossible to rank up. It makes the overall ranked experience a horrible one, and therefore no one wants to play ranked. Another issue, cheaters. Now, with the release of Siege X, they introduced a new anti-cheat that was supposed to make it harder to cheat, yet somehow cheating is worse than ever.
But cheaters have completely taken over Siege X.
And even though I have a dev on my rank team, that does not stop low-life cheaters in this game.
Siege X, with the game going free to play, there are cheaters literally everywhere.
If you play console, if you play PC, you're playing a cheater almost every game, no matter what elo too.
Cheaters are going insane in Siege X.
That because of Siege X and the new anti-cheat, that I wouldn't run into any cheaters anytime soon. But I was wrong.
And supposedly this is due to the game being free. Like, to be honest, I do not know, but I do know that cheating has become a huge problem to the point that it's basically made the game unplayable. Like, imagine going into your rank up game, you're winning 3-2, and then someone on the opponent team, they turn on their cheats, and you lose that game, and before you know it, you're back in Copper 5 and the bleach has never looked better. The whole situation with Siege has gotten so bad that #SaveSiege is now trending. The reality is players, creators, pro players, they've all had enough. Now, given the fact that Siege X was a complete failure and Siege's player count continues to drop every month, is Siege therefore dying? I mean, look, the game has been around for 10 years, and over the course of those 10 years they've built an extremely loyal fan base. So no, I don't think it's gonna die at the moment, but I think if things continue the way they're going, if Ubisoft doesn't start to listen to the community more, like for example, the community hates shield operators. They think they're very overpowered. So what does Ubisoft do? It goes and it buffers Clash. Like, what? I think if Ubisoft doesn't start to add content more frequently, I think the game will continue to die.
Killed itself, bro. With lack of content, cheating issues never being solved. Bro, if you don't update the game, like, there's nothing for people to play.
But like, at the same time, people have been claiming Siege has been dying for multiple years, literally since it's been released, and over the course of this 10-year journey they've had many downs, but they've always been able to get through them. So I would say that Siege is definitely at a low point right now. There's no denying that. I think Siege X was a failure, a disappointment, pointless. I can see why the community's mad. Dual Front, also pointless. The lack of content makes the game stale, and that's annoying. Cheaters, they need to be dealt with. But like, if they sort these things, I think the game will be alright. So will the game die off in a few years? Maybe, but only God knows. If they deal with these things, I think the game will be alright, and it will continue to live on. Anyways, let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching.